Are you finding yourself falling off of your health and fitness goals, whether that be your fitness, your health and nutrition, or any other type of routine or practice that you once had regarding your health, but for whatever reason you've fallen off, whether that be for a week, a month, 6 months, a year, whatever, however long it's been? Remember that it's not about how many times that you fall off of your momentum, but it's about how many times you bring yourself back up. And in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how I bring myself back up when I find myself getting off track, knocked off of my momentum, off of my course, and how I get myself back on the train quickly, easily, and in a fun way. Stay tuned to the end of this video to hear exactly how I do it. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rahozah, and if this is the first time that you're seeing my face, then welcome. It's so nice to have you here. So recently I fell off of my health momentum, and that is what actually inspired me to film this video, because I, for this entire year, have been going to the gym 5 times a week consistently. I actually just made a video on it. I'll link that above, on how I get myself to consistently go to the gym and really enjoy the process of that. But for the past month or so, I've been going through different life experiences, as life does to us, right? I was really allowing myself to experience life and allowing myself to go through whatever it was that I was going through, which ultimately led to me not going to the gym as much. I noticed that this area of my life that was demanding more attention from me emotionally was taking energy from my health goals, was taking energy away from the momentum that I was on with the gym. So while I was in this phase of I was still going to the gym, but it was once or twice a week, not really as good hardcore workouts as I'm used to, as I usually have the energy for, which is totally fine. Life ebbs and flows, and that is kind of the point of where I'm trying to get at in this video, is that it's okay to have these periods of time where you're just going through life, experiencing life. You're not always going to be so adamant on keeping up with such a strict workout schedule. So that was a big adjustment for me, and I noticed thoughts were coming up in my head saying, oh my god, I'm reverting back to my old self, saying things like, I've made no progress, I'm feeling so bloated, I have to start all over again. Thoughts like, oh, I should just give up at this point. Thoughts that were telling me that it's gonna be so much harder now that I've taken more time off, that I've ruined my progress, that I lost my muscle, etc., right? All of these thoughts were coming to me, telling me that I should just give up, or telling me that I just haven't made progress, that I've messed everything up, that I'm going back to my old self. And what I did was I quickly recognized those thoughts were coming up, because now I'm very aware of the thoughts that are constantly replaying in my mind. What happened was I noticed those thoughts were replaying in my mind, and I quickly changed my perspective. I changed those thoughts and I redirected them to something that is more true to me and the version of me that I've created. So I changed my word choices, because our words create our worlds. So I know the value of the words that I say to myself. So I quickly realized what I was doing, and I switched my perspective. I switched the words that I was saying to myself. So instead of saying that I was reverting back to my old ways, I allowed myself to experience this season or cycle of life, and I'm grateful for that time. This is not reverting back to my past self. This is creating a new version of myself. I'm not losing my progress. I'm just maybe more bloated now because I've spent more time outside of the gym and not really staying as consistent with my eating habits that I have been developing. And because of that, because I'm feeling more bloated, because I'm feeling more tired, more sluggish, because of the chemical changes that are occurring in my brain because of my change of routine, that's what I'm feeling right now. It's not that I've lost progress. And if we view it as lost progress, then we're kind of viewing it as an all or nothing type of mentality, rather than a more positive outlook, which is that you're still on an upwards trajectory. Remembering that growth and change is not linear, but there are cycles to life, and allow yourself to go through experiences, allow yourself to go through these cycles so that you can get back on that train. I also reminded myself that it only will take 1 or 2 weeks for me to start feeling so much better and start seeing progress again. The reason that a positive mind and positive attitude towards this is so important is because that's what's gonna lead us to take positive actions towards continuing that positive upward trajectory. If we keep ruminating and thinking these negative thoughts, we're just gonna dig ourselves deeper and deeper and deeper, and that's gonna compound. We're either gonna compound upwards or we're gonna compound downwards. We have to accept that a part of life is just the ebbs and flows to life. Things are gonna happen. Things are gonna knock us off of our routines sometimes, and we can't just rely on motivation and discipline to get us back on that horse. We have to be able to accept where we are, stop ruminating, and be able to look forward and make that conscious decision to look forward and move forward despite being knocked down. I spent months, honestly even years, kind of developing the foundation for myself and my health goals, but been consistent in my health goals since about March 2022. Okay, that's when I really locked in to like habit formation. Before that, I was a little bit too in the mind, maybe too much trying to overcomplicate things and make things just way harder than they needed to be. But earlier this year in March, that is when I really locked into creating a foundation for myself, building new habits slowly but surely, because I knew that I was creating a foundation for myself to be able to succeed in the future. I wanted to start off slow. I wanted to build these habits because I didn't want to just change for 1 week, you know? I didn't just want to change in a month. I wanted my changes to be sustainable. I wanted to live a healthy lifestyle, and I wanted to create a healthy way of living as my just way of being. So I knew that in order to do that, it wasn't going to be a quick fix. It couldn't be an all or nothing type of thing. It had to be slow and steady changes. So that's exactly what I did back in March, is I really began to start creating these new habits for myself, and successfully, because I have been consistent with those healthy habits. But like I said, the past month I was kind of off of that healthy momentum. So that really got me down for a minute, and that is why those thoughts started coming up. But really, because I spent all that time really building the foundation of establishing myself as just a healthy person, slowly and surely, I'm now at a point where I can so easily realize those thoughts that do not serve me are not true. And I realize that because I built the foundation of I'm just a healthy person. When it's just who you are, when it's just your identity that you've created for yourself and you've taken those actions habitually and consistently and they're now habit, when you fall off, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't have to mean anything about you because you have the habits in place. You have that identity that you are just a healthy person. So it doesn't matter if for a week, for a month, I fell off, if you even want to call it that, my normal routine. It doesn't matter because I'm just gonna get back on my normal routine because it's just who I am. I've already spent all this time building this new identity. So building your identity should be the first step. Building these habits, building this way of life for you should be your primary goal. When it's your identity, there is no falling off because it's just who you are. You can't fall off who you are. The one thing that we should be aware of, though, when we do fall off of our normal routine is that there is going to be that resistance phase. There's gonna be like 1 to 2 weeks where we're gonna have to push through that resistance. During this resistance phase, this is when we can expect things to be a lot more uncomfortable. We can expect more misalignment of our thoughts because we're now off of our normal routine. So that means the chemicals in our brain are different and there's going to be different thoughts replaying. We have to just be aware that these changes are going to be happening when we fall off and that it's going to be a little bit harder to get back on. But when you can remember that there is this resistance phase when you get knocked down, that it only lasts 1 to 2 weeks, when you can keep that in mind, it really helps you get through this phase a lot quicker. When I was falling off the track, you know how it is when you fall off and it becomes harder. It becomes harder to push yourself to go to the gym. It becomes harder to make yourself eat well or to stop eating things that you think you shouldn't in order to feel your best self. Knowing that there's going to be a 1 to 2 week period of it being hard, of there being resistance, knowing that once you push through that, it's going to get so much easier, helps so freaking much. It helps you push past that phase and have the discipline that you need because you know it's only for a short period of time. It's not going to be this hard forever. Okay, and I feel like that is like the biggest reminder we need to hear when we get fallen off our track is that it's not going to be this hard forever. The resistance is not going to last. Get yourself back on that train, and within a week, you're going to feel so much better. Within 2 weeks, the inflammation will go down, the bloating will go down. You'll feel so much better in your skin, so much better about yourself and your habits and your mindset, and the endorphins and all the things are going to just improve when you push through that resistance phase. If you can expect and be ready for the challenges that are going to come in the resistance phase, then it won't affect you as much. When you're getting back into your routine, remember to start slow, go easy on your body and listen to your body and really honor where it's at and honestly make it enjoyable for you. Remember why you're doing what you're doing. Remember why you started this health journey to begin with. The goal isn't to just change your physical body in a week or in a month or in a couple months. Like, at least that shouldn't be the ultimate goal. It could be a goal of yours, and it's definitely a goal of mine, is to improve my physique, to feel better about myself, more confident. But really for me, adopting these healthy habits and behaviors is about being a happier, healthier version of myself. And also for me, it's about connecting my mind and my body, which I know affects all other areas of my life and helps me to show up as my best self when I'm feeling my best self. I find that my thoughts and my confidence and the way that I show up in this world is directly correlated to how I'm doing with my health. I know that my health routine is one of the most important parts of my routine in general because it trickles down to every other area of my life. And building these habits, building these behaviors, it takes time, it takes consistency, and it takes slow habit changes and improvements, which is why we need to remember why we're doing what we're doing, because we need to have that perseverance, that persistence, and that dedication to ourselves that this is not just a short-term thing. We're in this for life, all right? This is what we want to be our way of being, not just a quick fix, all right? So don't sabotage yourself with that all or nothing mentality. You're in this for the long haul, okay? You can fall off track and get right back on and be totally cool, totally okay, and totally happy. And lastly, the last thing I want to say is to find enjoyment in the process. If you're not loving the process, if you're not loving the journey, find a way to love the process and to love the journey, because that's how you're going to truly be fulfilled in life. That's how you're truly going to reach the goals that you want to reach and not have to suffer every single second of the way. Make it fun and listen to your body. Try your best to go by feelings and behaviors over the results. That's all from me in this video, guys. I hope you got value out of it. If you did, please leave me a like and a comment letting me know what was the most valuable thing you got out of this video. Hit that subscribe button for new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. And without further ado, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! Love ya.